Hi guys, welcome back to yet another program from Kenya Institute of Software Engineering and Professional Studies TV, which is KISE College TV. I'm Elizabeth Mutinda, and today I have a bunch of all interviews lined up for you, so don't go anywhere. And as you can see, I already have one of them with me in the studio. So guys, as the old saying goes, if you are not moving forward, then you are drifting backward. But the question is, have you set career goals for yourself? If not, don't worry, we've got you covered. So today we will be talking to 3 people that we work with, and they are going to take you through different career paths that you can take if you have not made any career choices for yourself. So without much further ado, let him introduce himself, and then we will dig into the conversation. Karibu sana, Mr. Danson.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for choosing to be here.
Okay.
We appreciate that. So briefly introduce yourself to the audience before we get into the conversation.
Once again, thank you,
Karibu.
Madam Liz, for having me. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mr. Danson Dese. I am a lecturer at KISE, and I am the HOD of ICT, and I'm also in charge of guidance and counseling, and also street talk, and I also overlook the clubs and the games in our school.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've talked about the ICT, which is the major thing that you're going to look at before we go to the guidance and counseling part.
Yeah.
So to our audience out there,
Yes.
how would you describe ICT to someone who has never heard of the name before?
Okay. Wow, that's a good one. It's an interesting question. And now, ICT stands for Information Communication Technology. In general, it comprises of several things, or rather very many things that technology is coming in handy to help. That is in so many sectors, namely they can be transactions in banks, in schools. You're finding technology nowadays being embraced almost in every sector. So now that interactions and enabling the communication now to take part using now the computers and such is what now that we call the ICT holding.
Okay.
Yes.
And another thing is about I don't know about this if I'm wrong or not, but you are a lecturer.
Yeah.
Why did you choose to teach ICT?
Yes.
As you know, like as a subject, or maybe why did you choose to become a lecturer? You know, there are so many career paths that you can
Okay.
yeah, maybe you can choose to work in a bank or in another firm, but why teaching?
Oh, wow, that's also a good one. I like your line of questioning. I would say that teaching is noble. Teaching is noble, and one of the things that I believe in is impacting and bringing difference to people, and teaching now is able to capture that. Yeah. So therefore, I found myself, I had passion all along of impacting.
So you chose teaching.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in the teaching field?
More than 9, close to 10 years now.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how has the journey been, interacting with different people and all that?
I would say the journey has been challenging, and since with the numerous and advancing of technology, one of the things with the training is that it keeps you on toes. Yeah, even as you get to, I always say that teaching and learning goes hand in hand, because as you teach, you also get to know.
Yeah.
And therefore, one of the benefits of training is that you also become better. Yes, it is able to delve and dig out the best of everyone.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are learning too.
Yeah.
And now that we are talking about teaching and all that,
Yeah.
you deal with students, and most of them are young and they think they know know better than you do.
Mm.
So how are you able to deal with like classroom frustration or frustrations from students? Or if you are not frustrated,
Yes.
why not?
What you are talking about is the things that can frustrate a trainer.
Yeah.
Trainers all over the world, and this one is across or divide, get frustrated because students are wherever, because now they are growing, they want to their space where they want to understand themselves, and therefore one of the things that can frustrate or rather frustrates me as a trainer, and I think that's what if I got you right, is a student getting late. Getting late.
Late,
Like now you have gotten into a class and then a student getting late later. Their phones are on. Those are some of the things that we irritate everyone. Yes. Yours as a trainer is off. Why should a student's phone be on? You as a trainer, you are there on time. Why should a student have arrived late? So those are some of the things that when you talk to them out, show them the importance of arriving early, getting organized, so that in future, because they are young ones, they are growing, they are our young brothers and sisters, and we are there now to bring the best out of them. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now that you've talked about in the definition of ICT, you said it's all about that passing of information using computers and all that.
Yes.
So how are you able to, or what approach do
Yes.
you use to promote that computer literacy? You know, it's not everyone who is has that literacy when it comes to computers and all that. What is one thing that you've been able to do to ensure that not only in your department,
Yes.
also around the school or just anywhere, to promote that computer literacy?
To-
No, the world is growing and everything is becoming more technology.
Technology.
Yeah.
Yes. One of the things that I do as a person is to break that that mentality first within a learner or even a student or anyone who is interested or anyone now who comes to my class. I break the mentality of a computer is hard. Learning computer is hard. Okay, this one is for these distinguished people or this class. If you would allow me, I will, when we were growing up, the computers.
Yes, the computers were just for chosen people.
Yeah.
Therefore, people thought this is not our area, our environment. But then, as we continue to, personally loved technology from way back, and actually, how now I decided. There was a question you talked of why I now got into IT.
Yeah.
I remember when just like the KCP.
That's what this. We went to, but now this one was KCS. KCSE, and we went to a cyber. The cyber attendant was not able to attend to all of us because people were many. We were anxious. We want to know the results.
And another thing, people didn't have.
Other people didn't have the smartphone, so we went and flocked to a cyber, and we were too many. And then we would wait. We would lift our hands, call the cyber, come assist you. But then where she or he has left you, like now I remember she was a lady. So she left me somewhere and I was stuck, and she was to attend to another person. And then within myself was provoked. And I said, this thing, I gonna know it. That is where, if I knew the results, that's where now the passion of knowing ICT began, and that's what understanding computer, because I felt so challenged.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think I'm learning a little bit about you and your career from.
Yes.
Wait, so the passion all started from.
It started there because now I said,
Yeah.
how am I a grown up? I have already cleared Form 4. I'm not able to check for my own results. I said, this thing, I'm gonna know it in and out.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talking of teaching and everything, and you've said that you've been in the teaching industry for at least 9 years.
Yes, close to 10.
You have a major achievement and all that. So, what is one of the achievements that you've gotten that you're most proud of?
One is there's like 5 years down the line, I walked into a bank, and one of the tellers serving me was my student.
Oh wow!
That was
Wow.
a great one, and I actually left the seat. It is one of the local banks. I just won't mention names, but
Yeah.
left the place of work and came with the respect that this is my Mwarim, and was able to introduce me to her colleagues, and I was one of the happiest guys.
Wow.
So even teaching is respectable.
It's
People
very
respect teachers.
The people
the
don't
trainers.
really, most people don't really understand that the teachers are they play the bigger because they are going to educate that person.
Yes.
Maybe like you said, you are a teacher, someone else chose to work in a bank.
Yes.
So people don't understand that the teachers are the ones playing that bigger role, you know,
Exactly.
by, you know, equipping the
Equipping
student.
and putting those skills.
Yeah.
Now she was telling me later on she went to campus, but that courage, I was the one who instilled the courage to be able to. She feared computer, but then I broke it down as I was telling you the mentality, and even as she went to campus, she knew this is my area.
Yeah, because you find that most of the students, utapata, like one is doing catering, but maybe there's something to do with computers.
Yes.
And then if you approach them and tell them, do this and this for me on the computer, they'll be like, no, I'm not doing that because I've never
done.
and they
It
are
is
so
not in my
scared.
area.
They don't know what's scary about computer, but you'll find that the student is like, no,
that's
sijawahi
not-
fanya
yes,
computers,
sijawahi fanya.
yeah, and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And they are left there wondering, like.
And you see, what you are talking about, Miss Liz, is that they are out. Almost everything is turning out to become technological, and it's going in those lines.
Yeah.
You walk in a bank today, you are required to key in where are you going. That's a computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Are you going to a
first
teller? Are
thing,
you going to
obviously,
are you going to a customer service desk?
Yeah.
You must key in, then produce something, go sit down until that number is. That's computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
in
you
every
find,
sector.
yeah, you find that like most people don't even, or they'll be scared.
Yes.
You know, they are written there. Like for example, if you walk in banks, you'll find that thing, I don't know what it's called. There are headings where you want to go, if it's the teller, or if it's the forex or whatever.
Sure.
But that particular person is so scared to even touch the gadget.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that one we are breaking it, and by and by I understand that we will get there.
We will
get there technologically.
And computer is always online and all that.
Sure.
And there's cyber, what is it? Cyberbullying.
Yes, cyber.
There's so much things happening on the internet.
Sure.
So dealing with students, or when you are students in a classroom, how are you able to ensure that they are safe when they are working on the web? Or,
Yeah.
no.
Okay. That one is a very good one now. Even to our viewers, that is to curb the hackers and the crackers. They're called hackers and crackers, and even accessing some sites that are not good. We talk of the harms that one can get exposed to, even using your gadgets. How you can download some apps and they carry with them viruses that will maybe even crash your computer and damage it and destroy it. We tell them the effects, the measures and the effects.
Okay, so
yes.
you communicate to the students.
We communicate to them, we make it clear, and even we share some of our experiences.
Okay.
Because some of us, we have been hacked before. We have access to some sites, and what we got there was not helpful.
Okay.
Yes.
This is an interesting one that we are having today. So to the audience, please don't forget to be a part of this conversation.
Sure.
Leave a comment.
Yeah.
If you have any question or anything that you want us to answer, don't feel free to ask, and we shall answer it for you in a few. So before we get into the guidance and counseling part, what are some of the career paths that one can take after doing ICT?
Okay, ICT, it's actually very wide.
Yeah.
One can either become a software. It is actually divided into categories, whereby there are those now who design. I would just break it into three part. There are those who design, there are those who implement software now, and there are those who also repair, and there are even those we can even go further to those who sell. So you can get salespeople in ICT, you can get designers, software analysts, you can get people who are called database administrators, you can get network administrators. Then their work is just to watch and see what is happening in a certain network. And they're able to even curb from hackers and, as I was saying, crackers. So it is a wide range. You can also still become a trainer and a tutor. If you have the calling, because it goes beyond knowledge anyway. Teaching is beyond knowledge, the subject knowledge.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is an interesting
data administrators.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we go to the second part, which is about guidance and counseling.
Yeah.
So our first question, putting in mind, like right now, all over the country, and I think mostly in African countries or cases in Kenya, utapata, like if you're watching the news, there's someone who has died, maybe a 13-year-old committing suicide, you know, a billionaire, a millionaire committing suicide. Like it's happening because people are not aware of that mental illness or mental awareness. And people, if you go online and talk about it, people will criticize you because I don't know if it's something which is not taught in schools and all that. So that is what I want us to talk about, depression. Yeah, mostly I want us to talk about the depression and all that, and how people can curb or can prevent themselves from being depressed, or if someone is going through that path, what they can do and all that. So it's common, it's a common issue nowadays, especially amongst the youth, of course, even with the adult and all that. So being in charge of guidance and counseling, first of all, let's start there. How are you able to relate with the students? You know, most of them will not go to the guidance and counseling room because they think that once I share my details with this particular person, they are going maybe to share it with someone else and all that. So how are you able to like instill that courage for the students to come to your office, or maybe how are you able to get them to come to you or reach out to you if they have problems?
Okay, that one also is a good one. Depression is the big thing. It's the big,
the major thing.
It's the elephant in the room, actually. As they put it. And I would say that depression is also not even a local thing. This one is even international.
It's all over the world.
It's across the borders, and it's all over the world. And it is this is why now the counselors comes in. And actually, as we have just said, as trainers and as tutors, the counseling also is also another noble thing. Very noble and very vital, even actually in the day that we are living today, and in the age that we are in. I would say that that one I work with, we work together with other trainers and everyone who is involved in school, okay? Because it begins by identifying. There are so many signs that one can be able to pick on what students are going through, and we begin how to deal. Either a student is always coming late, a student, because depression is even beyond you being sad. Beyond that. Maybe a student is always bitter, okay? Those some of the things that one can be able to pick, then we are able now to begin to create after because counseling is more of now identifying, then bringing close, and then developing an accommodation to them. Okay, they are close to you, to develop a relationship. That way, one begins now to open up, and it is easy once you have the passion of doing it, and therefore everyone, even on teaching staffs, they also help us hand in hand, and even other students, and especially the classmates.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are your services only for the students, or also extended to the man.
No, it is for everyone. Everyone, as we have said, counseling and depression can affect anyone. It actually even can affect my fellow colleagues, and therefore it is an open forum, because counseling is more of coming in. Do I have someone who will hear me out? Okay, will I be heard? Actually, one of the key things, there are 4 major keys of an effective counseling, and one of them is a place that I can be able to go and speak out.
Yeah, freely.
Freely. So we have allowed that in our institution. So it's open to everyone.
Okay.
Even to the viewers. It's open
Okay,
to
you
all.
guys are welcomed.
Yes, they are welcome.
As you have heard.
Yeah.
And then another thing is having handled cases to do with depression and students and all that, what is one of the hardest case you've ever dealt with?
I wouldn't say the hardest, because each one of us carry or rather can quote hardness into different parameters. But I would say a challenging one, maybe a case that I handled with was not in the institution, but a parent somewhere called me because they know what I do, because I do it even out there. As I said that me, I just love impacting and bringing change and difference. And one of the parents called me. The student wanted to go do a certain course. The student had passed actually very well, but then there was a challenge because the parent wanted a specific course for the student. And as a matter of fact, the student had passed very well, but the student wanted to do a different thing. That is where the challenge began. So now to handle it well, and as we speak today, that student is in second year campus, doing what she loved, her passion. I was able to talk out to the parent, and because it is an art-related thing, the parent is coming from an old time whereby they believe that there are certain special professions, like becoming a doctor, becoming an engineer. So when a student tells you that I want to become a professional DJ, disc joker, one would think that's not right. So it was a little challenging thing, but we went through it, and the parent was able to accept, able to share that every career can feed you, because not only in specific careers
are for
these people. Yes, I was able to even quote big names in our country, people who are in the music industry, but also, yes, they went to school and they did some.
It's like the way people think that engineering is only for men.
For men, yes.
In the engineering industry, you find like very less women.
Sure.
Okay, and another thing, before we go, I'll close this part of the interview today is about talking of guidance and counseling, and we were talking about depression.
Yes.
So there are many cases in our country about couples killing each other, or maybe student relationships in colleges or universities. You find that this one has killed the other, and people will blame it on even minor stuff but they do not know that also depression leads to all that, or maybe especially for the couples and all that.
Yes.
It's usually depression. Maybe this man is going through a lot to feed the family, and usually men don't speak out.
Rarely do they.
So they end up killing their spouse, or maybe killing the family, the whole family, and themselves too.
Yes.
So how would you advise against that, or someone who is watching and is going through a lot of stuff that they they feel that they can handle, they are at the verge of it, they're at the end of it,
Okay.
They feel like giving up.
Okay, that's a good one. But then I would say breaking it, because it's a really heavy question.
It's a heavy one.
And I would say that relationships should be for mature.
Yeah.
That's where we should begin. If one is at school and is a student, one shouldn't get involved into those relationships, because they will be toxic. They will harm you. Okay. Just like you.
But how can you encourage the people there? Because the thing, you know,
Yeah.
talk about these young people thinking that they know better. How would you even tell them, encourage them that this is, will not work?
Okay, I would say this. Yes, it is encouraged to relate.
Yeah, to
Okay,
relate.
relationship, but don't let it go to intimacy level.
Okay.
Okay, let guys and young men and young ladies relate, but to some limits. Let there be some limits, so that to avoid the killings, and especially to the young people. Okay, because they get into marriages, rather they get into relationships that are not leading to marriages, and obviously you have wasted your time. You have wasted your time, your partner's time, and it also will not even end up well. It won't end up well. But then talking, so I would tell, and the best thing is to wait. Waiting is good. What we call the abstinence. Waiting, yes. Don't go to beyond boundaries. Okay. Yes. Don't let it become intimate before time. Okay. How to allow yourself also to grow, to know the other person. Me, I would encourage relationship whereby people are open, they relate well, from a point of where now I'm able to understand you fully. Even, you know, if you are meant to be, you will be. Okay, you'll be.
Yeah.
You'll become. If you are meant to become, you'll become. We are like myself. I'm married now, and even I'm also closing to 10 years.
Oh wow.
And
So
married to one girl.
getting guidance from the right person.
And I also have kids. I have 2 girls. Yes. And what I also speak to them is some things you got to wait. There are things that you are never added until we grew to certain levels. Like I did. You must grow up to 18 years. When you are 16 in Kenya, you are not qualified to get an ID. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let yourself, give yourself time. And
Yeah.
give time. The other thing I would talk of is to the young couples who are killing each other. I would say there are things that make relationships not work, and especially now even in the marriage area. One of them is miscommunication, whereby you are not communicating the right.
Yeah.
Whereby there is no proper communication, there will be mistrust. Okay, and that lead to damaging one another. And this damaging misleads is not only hurting, like now I have heard you quote killing physically. Yes, that one is happening. But then it can also still be emotional. You can hurt me emotional. And especially to the ladies, that one is a killing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be physical.
It doesn't have to be physical. It can be even you have hurt me psychologically. There are so many things that resort to it. Either the finances. And hear me, it's not you talk of much finances or less finances. Finances, mismanagement of finances. You know, finances, you can mismanage them whether you have much or less. So that one can also be another factor, because one would be prioritizing on certain things while you prioritize on others.
Yeah.
You get it? Now there the difference comes in. Other things are addictions, and not only for abuse of substances like alcohol. There can be abuse of emotion. Yeah. So those things are many and they are deep, but maybe it's a topic that needs a lot of time to even deal with it. But once you come in, we begin to tackle them in sessions form. Then we will get to a place whereby you will be able to have a consensus with your wife or your spouse, because the language is also differs. Every relationship is unique. I always tell people, every relationship is unique. You cannot treat your wife just like the way you had your friend treat your wife. Yeah. The language of love also differs. Others is to touch, others is to affirmation. You have cooked well today. Others want the physical touch, the touch. What they call the PDA inside.
Okay,
Yeah.
you guys, I had an amazing one. I hope you are having an amazing session today. So before we go on a short commercial break, I want you to leave any questions that you have, and we will be back with more interviews.